Messiah supposed to suffer when he dies, right? Many people were crucified at that time. I think Jesus was just unlucky that he lived during that time. What about the other people? Did they act the same way? They had the same level of suffering?
Actually,
suffering was infinite.
yeah, so very good question, because many people think, and you'll talk to especially like Catholics or something, that they say that his suffering on the cross is why we're saved. That's not true. That's not true. He did suffer, and he had to suffer because it was prophesied by Isaiah. But his payment was not in his suffering. His payment was in the infinite separation between him and his Father, between Elohim. So that infinite payment is how we can say, oh, sorry. Yeah.
Okay, wait. So.
בואו בשיעורים האחרונים, אוקיי? אנחנו, אין הרצאות, אנחנו לומדים חסה.
So, okay, good question. Is Jesus the Son of God, or is he God himself? Well, as we see in the Shema Israel, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Yesh rak Echad Elohim. There's only one God. So that means that if Jesus is going to claim to be God, he has to claim to be the Echad God.
One.
The Echad God, not the Yahid God, right? So that's why we started by saying who is God. Well, we see that God is speaking as in multiple personalities, in the Ruach HaKodesh, in Adonai Tsevaot, God of hosts, Lord of hosts, the Elohim, the Adonai. So we see that God doesn't limit himself to being one person or one personality. And therefore, if Jesus says, I am God, and God the Father says, I am God, and the Holy Spirit says, I am God, as a Christian, I believe there's only one God. Therefore, it's three in one. The same way that, like, Jesus is God, and he is the Son of God. It's sort of, it's perhaps the most difficult concept to explain, because it's perhaps the most difficult concept in the whole New Testament.
Where's the separation?
Exactly. How can that be? Well, if I could explain that, I would be able to explain the nature of God, and that would be, I think, impossible. Because you cannot limit God. You cannot explain.
The exact same thing, because God is infinite. There is no form, there's no shape, can't be shut, time, the world was actually 7 days, 7,000 years, because each day was another.
Yeah, gap theory.
Shabbat, 7, maybe 7,000 years of Jewish existence. That's what Moshiach is actually supposed to come, and then there's a lot of.
But there's a problem with the expectation of the first arrival of the Messiah still. Why? Because the second temple has been destroyed. He can no longer come, because one of the prophecies was that the Messiah himself would come into the second temple, not the third, the second. Before its destruction, it actually prophesied the destruction of the second temple, and that the glory of the second temple would be greater than the first.
So you don't believe in like the second coming?
Yes. So, but I don't believe in the first coming that is yet to come. You know what I mean? He's already come, so I believe he's going to return. But I don't believe he's going to come for the first time. You know what I mean? So, you know how Jews are waiting for the Messiah?
Yeah.
Whereas Christians say the Messiah's already come. He's just going to come back.
When is that going to happen?
Nobody knows. It's not written anywhere. And Jesus himself said, nobody, not even the angels, know.
So there's no prophecy about that.
No, there's certain things that have to occur before. In other words, the return of the Jews to Israel, 1948. There's also several other prophecies that have to occur. The destruction of the second temple, which has already occurred. And also the preaching of the gospel, the good news of Jesus Christ to the whole of the earth. To every single nation. Until that happens, Jesus will not come back. So if somebody says Jesus is coming, you say you're a liar. Because some Christian guy in my Hebrew class told me. You know, but it's written. He will not come until those things are fulfilled. There's certain other prophecies like the joining of the 10 mountains, which is representative of 10 nations and all that stuff. That has yet to happen. So Jesus won't come back anytime soon. I give it at least 50 years, and that's if things go really, really quickly. But it's God's time. People have been saying he's going to come back in 2,000 years. However, it's a mistranslation that they say he's coming soon. Is rather he's going to come quickly, which is different. It means in the flash of an eye, he's here, too late. kind of thing. And that's when the judgment of all nations will occur. See?
תודה רבה.
הם דיברו על
כשרפאל התחיל ללמוד
הרוח
עברית, הוא אמר לי
כן?
שהמטרה שלו להיות, הוא רוצה לקרוא את התנ"ך בעברית. והנה,
אז הבן שלו
היא
לא-
מגלה.
כן, the trilogy. אמרתי לו, the
אני לא יכולה לדבר, לא אני יודעת שזה טריטי, אבל אני
Yeah, to understand is exactly
גם בעברית, גם באנגלית, אני לא יכולה לדבר, I don't know why. I'm old.
את מגישה את
And
התמצית?
that's why I ask people
yeah.
all the time. I ask people about the Deuteronomy 6:4, the Shema.
כן, ממש כן, אומרים על איך תקומתים, אתה יודע.
Because in English,
Yeah, so,
לא עניתי לו.
you say, okay,
Then
God,
you-
one God. But no, in
how do you
Hebrew,
spell your name?
there's
מה, לא
singularity.
כתבתי את זה.
Oh.
And
תודה.
there's unity, and it uses the word for unity, singularity, and I was like, yeah, of course, for me it makes sense. But to a Jew who believes that there's only one God in the singularity, it's like,
יש
לא, רפאל, we were laughing because...
בסדר לקום לבני?
מה קרה? We were laughing because you're talking about God, right? And then like Rachel's like, yeah, the trilogy.